This one's from my fellow scatterbrains out there. I'm the type of person who likes to think that I thrive in chaos. Probably a ton of childhood trauma behind that one, but that's a video for another time. In this video, I want to talk about how I learned to work with my scatterbrain and not against it. You are beautiful and charming just the way that you are. You just need to learn how to embrace yourself and embrace the best of yourself so that you can thrive in the chaos. So there was a time where I legit thought I was not built for success. I kept starting multiple projects and not following through on any of them. I would have a million amazing creative ideas, but not be disciplined enough to implement any of them. I couldn't remember anything, I missed appointments. But the reason I felt so down all the time was because I just wasn't able to be consistent with anything. And so while it felt like everyone else around me was just consistent all the time, there were just so many things I wanted to achieve, and I just, looking around, felt like I wasn't achieving any of them. And I had kind of let my limiting beliefs about myself get me down. But you best know that's not how the story ends, right? Obviously, it was not that I couldn't do it, it's just that I didn't have the right system in place. One thing that really catalyzed my growth and my discipline and just helped me embrace all of these cool things about me and understand myself was implementing basically a weekly planning practice. So I do this every Sunday, okay? I block off an hour, I get those candles going, I sit down, I relax, I usually have a face mask on. It's usually Sunday night, right? So all my everything else is done. And I just always make sure I have nothing planned Sunday night. And I really, truly, because of how I set this up, I totally romanticize the heck out of it. And I look forward to spending this time with myself. I get out all the stickers that I have, all the lovely highlighters, and my favorite, Muji pens, you know, right? And I just get into it. In this video, I will tell you how I found peace with this journaling method, how it's super, super easy, and how you don't have to have a super organized way of thinking in order to be an organized person who can start implementing things and really feel in control of your mind. Here we go. Step number 1 is the brain dump. Okay, so one of the things that makes you feel scatterbrained or makes you feel disorganized is because you do not actually have a clear view on your priorities. You might think you know. You're like, yeah, like my family's important to me, or, my career is the most important thing to me. But when you look at the way you spend your time versus what you think your priorities are, often they don't actually match. This is true, and you don't know until you do this. So what you want to do is get an Excel sheet, whatever, you do you, Notion, you pick piece of paper, whatever. That's all you. The first thing you want to do is create some categories, all right? So for mine, for example, I think I have something along the lines of spirit, relationships, family, career, health, and wellness. So create some categories for yourself that are important to you. And then we are going to brain dump. Brain dump all the things on your mental to-do list into these categories, okay? Is that a sigh of relief I just heard? Yeah, it feels that good. See, already you have such a clear view of where your mind's at, what you're thinking more about, and what you're not thinking is that much about, right? And that's cool. This is an awareness, it's called monk journaling, okay? So this is about really being the observer of your entire life and taking a step back. So now you can see which categories are kind of more filled up than others, and that's cool. Remember, we're planning out our week here, okay? Just leave it like it is for now, and we're gonna move on to the next section. The next section is the reflection section. Okay? In this section, we're going to reflect on the previous week, not the previous month, not the previous year. I don't want you dragging all that negativity and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've had that feel so all-consuming into this exercise, okay? We're leaving all that behind and focusing just on the previous week. These are the categories we're gonna look at for your reflection section. Number 1, your biggest accomplishments last week. Just name 3. The next category is habit insights. So reflect on, maybe you had a goal of meditating every day. Maybe you just think back and say, hey, what could be improved? Or what did I love about the meditation practice? What did it get me? It's nothing specific. It's just a reflection. The next one is meaningful moments. So jot down some meaningful moments that come up as you think about your last week. This one is golden. The universe is teaching me. So what is the gist, right? What do you feel like you're learning in life right now? That's the level. That's the level. And finally, of course, what's one way you want to improve next week? Again, don't get too much in the dumps about this and try to stay true to what the answer truly is. I don't want to see, I only have 100 followers this week. Next week, I want 200 followers. That's not something that's truly in your control, right? In this section, you want to write down something only you can control. So if you realized in your reflection that, hey, I said I was going to wake up at 6 a.m., I haven't been waking up at 6 a.m. because I keep sleeping at 12 p.m., you know what? Next week, I'm gonna try and see what it feels like to just go to bed an hour earlier. It's in my control, and that's what I want to focus on next week. Boom, done. All right, now it's time to talk about the next week. We're setting goals for ourselves. There's two categories here: personal growth and relationship growth. Do you already see how we're bringing in balance into our lives? Yes, feels good. Okay. Personal growth section, write 3 things. Not 4, not 5, not 17. You are writing 3 things for your personal growth that you want to accomplish in the following week. We are not superhuman. We can't do everything all the time. You've just done a reflection. Use those insights to fuel what you want your personal growth to look like in the following week. 3 things max. I'm cutting you off. Same with your relationship growth. Listen, if it's less than 3, if it's just one thing you want to do, love it. Why? Because less is more. Less means you can focus. Less increases the chance of you actually accomplishing that goal. And you accomplishing that goal gives you confidence to accomplish more and more in the following weeks. Okay. And the last sort of thing in this section is, what are you looking forward to? So you're going to list 3 things. This time, more is more. So 3 things you're looking forward to in the following week. The answers to this, if you do this right, I don't want to see, I'm looking forward to hitting my sales target next week. I mean, okay, maybe. But chances are that the things that you put down on this list, and you really are actually doing it from a place of self-reflection, are going to be things like, I'm looking forward to spending time with my family, or I'm looking forward to going out with my friends. The point of this section, as you will come to see the more you do it, is that it gives you this jolt and love for life. Now it's time to prioritize. So remember the brain dump you did at the beginning? Go and make some adjustments. You just did a little bit of reflection. Maybe you want to take out some things. Maybe you want to add some things. Totally cool. This is your week ahead, okay? Keep it balanced. Try to focus on the things that excite you the most. So you've edited that list, and now what we're gonna do is set priorities. We only have space for 3 things on our priority list for the next week, okay? The number 1 thing that's going to go on this list is going to be the one thing. Like, if you don't do anything else next week but just one thing, and still feel so good about yourself, and still feel satisfied, and still feel like you've accomplished the most out of the week, what would that thing be out of everything? That's gonna go on number 1. Now, you don't need to have 2 more things. You can just have 1 thing on here. But if you do choose to have 2 and 3, go for it. Any more than that, go. We gotta stay focused. Stay focused, okay? At this point, you should be feeling like you have control over your life. Everything that you want to accomplish in the next week is totally in your own hands. You are the master of your own destiny, girl. Okay, and this step, out of all the steps, please do not skip this step. You're going to, starting with your first priority, schedule these things into your damn calendar. What you want to do is start with a blank calendar, and then you take your first priority and you put that in your calendar first. When are you going to be doing this thing? Time block it. Maybe it's not something you can do all at once. Maybe it's something that requires you to do a little bit every day. Because maybe your priority for this week isn't even work related. Maybe it's not project related. Maybe it's just to get more exercise. That's your priority. Well then, you're scheduling 3 to 4 times blocks of you exercising during the week. Get all your priorities in there first, and then you're gonna schedule everything else on your list around those priorities. Okay, cool? Make it nice, make it colorful, make it fun. I love also working with the labels and the headings of these things in my calendar because it's just personalized, so it makes me feel, again, more in control. It also reminds me that I get to choose how much joy and how much awesomeness and how much fun I put into the activities and the goals that I have for myself. Brilliant. You're doing so well. This is amazing. Just give yourself the opportunity to practice this method for at least a month. So that equals 4 journaling exercises every Sunday or every Monday. Try not to have any distractions when you do this. Put your phone away, just relax. And then see how your week goes, right? I'm not saying, it has to be a perfect week. It's not going to be. And that's what's so special about this journaling method. It's all about observing your week and then reflecting on it and making small changes every day. When you're scatterbrained and you try to do everything all at once, we end up going kind of in a spiral and we don't really get anywhere. So let's make small changes every single day and do the absolute best that we can. I'm so excited for you all. Let me know how it goes, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I'm excited for you already. You got this.